Good morning. Please join me in our call to worship. We are a justice-making, truth-seeking people. There we go. We share a reverence for the mystery of life. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning, Birmingham Unitarian Church. So nice to see you this morning on this beautiful wintry day. When I sing welcome, will you join me every single time? All right? You'll figure it out as we go. Welcome each other to this awesome space. Here we go. Welcome to our morning celebration. Here we go. Welcome to our morning celebration. When we're here in this space, we are filled with elation. Here comes another one. Welcome to our morning celebration. Make sure they can hear it online. Welcome, there we go, to our morning celebration. When we're gathered here in this space, it is such a celebration. Here we go, BUC. Welcome to our morning celebration. We got one more. Welcome to our morning celebration. When we're here together in this space, it is such a celebration. When we're here gathered at BUC, we are filled with elation. When we're here in this space, it is such a celebration.
Good morning, Birmingham Unitarian Church. It is good to be together again. Whether you are joining us here in the sanctuary, remotely via Zoom, or watching this recording later, it is good to connect with you. As a multi-platform church, it is important for us to build a bridge between online and in-person participants. We're calling this connection opportunity Greeting Our Virtual Neighbors. First, we'll project the image of folks who are currently on Zoom up here on our screen and ask them to turn on their cameras and give us a wave. Now, we who are gathered in person will turn to face the camera in the back of the sanctuary and give them a wave. Whenever and however we connect with BUC, we are building BUC. At home, on campus, in the world, every day. We are Birmingham Unitarian Church, and we are building the beloved community.
We join with other Unitarian Universalists around the world as we light our chalice. Our chalice lighting this morning is Tell Why We're Here by Eric Walker Wickstrom.
Here today, in this place, with these people, may we listen so that we can hear. May we hear so that we can feel. May we feel so that we can know, and may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice we light our way.
Will you please rise in body and spirit and join in singing our first hymn this morning? It's 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. And Shannon's going to be doing some hand motions, so feel free to join her as she's doing them too. Here we go. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
There we go. So today we are beginning our month-long journey on mindfulness. What does it mean to be mindful or to practice mindfulness? This is an excellent question that will take several Sundays to explore, and our sabbatical minister, Bridget Bechtold, has a lot of experience and wisdom to share about mindfulness. But today, I wanted to share a few different mindfulness exercises that you can take with you and use in the meantime. On the days that we are feeling flustered and unrooted, for the times that we feel like we are just living in our head and disconnected from the world around us, pause for a moment and practice some deep breathing. It seems rather simple, and in a way it is. However, sometimes in the heat of the moment, it can be difficult to find our breath, to just focus on our breathing. It may be helpful to have something to visualize, to bring you back into your body and back to the present moment. We'll be exploring some of these techniques and spend a little time practicing them so that anyone and everyone can pull one out of their metaphorical back pocket when they need a mindfulness moment. For those who are joining us here in the sanctuary, there are some cushions available for anyone who would like to use one, as well as some other tactile items for you should you need them. These items, again, are located over there, and there is a spot set aside so that we don't block any of the aisles. Okay, so let's get started practicing a simple grounding meditation. Find a comfortable position with your feet planted on the ground. If you want to move your chair so that you're sitting on the ground and you're closer to the ground, please feel free to do so. Once you find that comfortable position, close your eyes. Press the soles of your feet back into the ground that you sprang from. Imagine your legs, your feet, your hips solidly in the ground, rooted. Feel your physical center, your core. Breathe into your core. Feel it as strong and solid. Feel your center. Much that happens in this world can make us feel off balance. Yet in this moment, we can feel grounded. We can feel centered. Imagine roots going down from your feet through the floor, deep into the ground. Feel the weight of your body and know that it is glorious. You are born of soil and sun. You are a mighty tree in a mighty forest. Let your shoulders fall and relax your neck, letting your head droop slightly and fall toward your chest. Take a deep breath in. Feel your body as you inhale. Take a long breath out. Notice your body as you exhale. Imagine a gentle breeze as it moves through our forest, bringing waves of fresh air in and out. Let your trunks sway gently back and forth, like the wind moving through the hanging branches of a willow tree. Let it move your shoulders, move your arms, move your hands. Take a deep breath in. Now let it out. How about some more deep breaths? Let out a sound as you release your breath, like the leaves that rustle in the breeze. As the wind diminishes, find your center, and together, let us say, I am here, I am grounded. I am here, I am grounded.
The mission of Birmingham Unitarian Church is to be a free and welcoming religious community that encourages lives of integrity, learning, service, and joy. One way we live out this mission is by giving a half of our weekly offering to a nonprofit organization that shares our values and addresses needs in one of these areas: environmental action, economic justice, civic engagement, and racial justice. We support a new organization each month.
Our recipient for February is the Michigan UU Social Justice Network, also known as MooseGen. This statewide coalition of UU congregations and our allies working together for progressive change. BUC is a member of this network, which leverages resources and expertise to support the members' congregations' social justice work. It also joins with allies to expand the coalition's impact. Our plate donations enable MooseGen to engage consultants to assist with this work.
Let there be an offering in support of our beloved community and organizations that build the world we dream about.
As you hear the song, feel free to wiggle in your seats or stand up and dance. Feel the earth move under your feet. Join in. I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble down whenever you're around. Ooh, baby, when I see your face, mellow as the month of May.
This morning's offering will now be received with gratitude. Ushers, please come forward. We are a church of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. With gratitude, we dedicate this offering to the good works of our congregation and dedicate ourselves to its service.
That we share any joys and sorrows in our community. And this morning we have a joy, and that joy is that Larry Friedman turned 95. So happy birthday, it was a couple days ago, and yeah, he's going to be, he's joining us via Zoom today, so happy birthday. Happy birthday. So, well, that was our only joy, and we don't have any sorrows with us this morning. Let us take a moment to acknowledge any of the unspoken joys and sorrows among us. This morning's prayer comes from a survival meditation by Nathan C. Walker. Breathing in, I'm aware of my pain. Breathing out, I am aware that I am not my pain. Breathing in, I am aware of my past. Breathing out, I am aware that I am not my past. Breathing in, I am aware of my anger. Breathing out, I am aware that I am not my anger. Breathing in, I am aware of my despair. Breathing out, I am aware that I am not my despair. Breathing in, I'm aware of peace. Breathing out, I am aware that I am worthy of peace. Breathing in, I'm aware of love. Breathing out, I am aware that I am worthy of love. Breathing in, I am aware of joy. Breathing out, I am aware that I am an agent of joy. Breathing in, I am aware of hope. Breathing out, I am aware that I am an agent of hope. Breathing in, I am aware.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
Is this jar full? Pretty much? Okay. Now, is the jar full? No. Okay. How about now? Is the jar full? No? Well, let's see. All right. What about now? Is this jar full? Okay. Okay. All right. So, this jar represents your life. And everything that you put into this jar has its place. Let's start with our rocks. What do you think the rocks represent? And go ahead and raise your hand if you feel like sharing. Family. What else? That was what you're going to say? Okay.
Values.
Values.
Time.
Your time. Yeah.
I would say love.
Love. Yeah.
Reality.
Reality. Any other thoughts? Yeah.
Transformative events.
Transformative events. Absolutely. Okay. So we talked a little bit about our rocks, and for sure, those rocks represent the big things in our life, the things that are really important to you. It could be your family, your friends, your health, your passions, your faith, your education. And if nothing else, you still have these things that give your life purpose and meaning. The rocks that one person may have may not be the same as another person, but each person's rocks represent the things that keep them grounded. So we talked a little bit about some of the rocks that may be in some of our lives. What about the beads? We have those in our jar as well. So what do you think these beads represent?
Hope.
Hope?
Choices.
Choices? Books?
Fun things you like to do.
Fun things you like to do? All right. So the beads represent things that are still important to us, but ultimately things that we could live without, or things that we could maybe change. Things like your job, your car, your phone, your computer, your PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo Switch, even your house. While it may be difficult to live without these things in our lives, it's possible that we could live without them and still find happiness and fulfillment. And we also have some sand in our jar. What do you think the sand represents?
Stuff that you don't really want.
Stuff you don't really want.
Esoteric consequences.
Ooh, consequences. What else? Chocolate. Oh, yes. There's always room for chocolate. Yeah.
The unexpected.
The unexpected. Awesome. Any other thoughts? Oh, yeah, Sarah.
Stuff that takes up your time.
Stuff that takes up your time. Oh.
Time itself.
Time itself. Awesome. I like these responses. Let's see what I decided that the sand represents. So, sand represents the small things in your life, the things that bring you joy but might be short-lived, or the things that maybe get in the way, such as playing a game, watching a movie, going on vacation, eating some ice cream or maybe some chocolate. You don't necessarily need these things to have a full life, especially when you focus most of your energy on the things that matter most. But it's really these small things that give our lives flavor and zest. They still have their place inside of our jar, just sprinkled in between the bigger things like our rocks and our beads. Now, what do you think would happen if we put the sand into our jar first? You might still have some rocks, but you might not have a whole lot of room for those rocks, right? If we focus all of our time and energy on those small things, the things that give us instant gratification, we won't have any space in our lives, or may not have any space in our lives, for the big, important things. We may find ourselves getting upset or more easily frustrated when we have to deal with the big things and when certain things don't go our way. And so it can be really overwhelming to tend to these bigger things. If we're staying up late, playing video games, as awesome as that sounds, and as guilty as I am for doing it, it can have an impact on our sleep, which can then have an impact on our health. It can have a cascading effect then on our schoolwork or our other tasks. Now you have to catch up on the energy that you've lost, and on the smaller things, it's harder to focus than on those bigger things. It's a whole deal, right? It makes it even harder then to close the lid on our jar. And sometimes everything kind of starts to spill out. You'll have to make some time to kind of rearrange your jar, and that's kind of an excellent opportunity then for a mindfulness moment. There's a way to fit in everything in our jar. It's all about prioritizing those big things over the smaller things. And it's just a matter of knowing what's going to take up the most space, time, and energy. And if that thing is worth taking up that much space, time, and energy, then you can find the right balance to make sure you have all those small things worked into your life. Okay, now you may be asking yourself, what about the coffee? Well, I'm glad you asked. It goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem, there's always time and room to spend with a friend. And for Unitarian Universalists, that time happens to be built in on Sundays during coffee hour. So, now that you have this secret recipe for life, take a moment to create your own jar of life. You can use it kind of like a sensory jar. Set that right there. So you have a sensory jar is a nice little tool that you can have, and it kind of gives you something to focus on, right? All you need is some kind of container with a nice kind of wide mouth and you can put in your different things, and you can decide what you want those different things to be. Remember, you've got some big things in our lives, so that could be rocks or shells or toys, what have you. And then, of course, we have our smaller things they're still important, but a little bit smaller. So beads or seeds. And then, of course, those really small things that are really important, like our, those fun things that we like to do. They're a little bit short-lived, so that's why they're so small. So that can be sand or glitter. And then, also a really nice reminder, if you don't want to put coffee in here, put some water, and that's a nice reminder to stay hydrated. So when things are frustrated or chaotic and you need a moment of peace, shake up your jar and then set it down. And then find a comfortable position. Settle down, find your breath, observe the things swirling and whirling inside of your jar, and think about each of those items. Where did they come from? What do they represent? And while your mind is busy pondering these thoughts and taking stock of what's important in our lives, you may start to notice that your frustrations start to dissipate. Even if it's one of those rocks that's really stressing you out, hopefully you'll be able to deal with it with a little more of a level head, and you're ready to then take on that challenge. But remember, don't sweat the small stuff.
Let it go. Let it roll right off your shoulder. Don't you know? The hardest part is over. Let it in. Let your clarity define you in the end. We will only just remember how it feels. Our lives are made in these small hours, these little wonders, these twists and turns of fate. Time falls away, but these small hours still
Part of feeling grounded is acknowledging our bodies and the space that we occupy. Our bodies actually carry a lot of tools that we can use to find grounding. Our noses and lungs help to facilitate deep breathing. The rise and fall of our shoulders and diaphragms can give us something to focus on. We can also use our hands to anchor our breathing. Use your finger to slowly trace along the edges of your outstretched hand. As your finger slides up your thumb, breathe in. Then, as your finger slides back down the other side of your thumb, breathe out. As you continue to trace the outline of your hand, inhale as your finger moves away from your palm towards the tip of your other finger. Pause for a moment as your fingertips touch. Then exhale as you move your finger back towards your palm. Now pause for a moment before you inhale again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Another way that we can find grounding is to acknowledge our surroundings, using our senses to guide us. The 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique can help pull anxious mental energy back into the body, grounding and calming it so that you can release stress and find focus again in the here and now. Heightening your capacity to recognize your senses can be a part of your mindfulness practice. When you need to calm down during a stressful moment, when you feel like you simply cannot calm down or focus, complete a sensory countdown to refocus and recenter. By looking for, acknowledging, and naming items in the following list, your attention will be elsewhere and not on the things that are on your worried mind. Look for 5 things that you can see in the moment. Find 4 things that you can feel. Listen for 3 different sounds. Find 2 things to smell and 1 thing to taste. We can expand on this mindfulness practice through meditation, pointing our attention towards our different senses: sight, touch, sound, smell, and taste, and finally our thoughts. Sometimes it helps to visualize a scene in your mind. Take a moment to think about a place that is meaningful to you, a place that brings you peace and grounding. Or you can create this scene in your mind's eye with the things that fit in with your definition of peace, calm, tranquility, and grounding. As we move through each of our senses, imagine what you might find in your scene. This practice of mindfulness is strength building. We're building strength in our capacity to recognize our senses and to heighten our senses in what we'll call high-definition sensory awareness. So find a comfortable seat, either in your chair or on the floor. Place your hands on your thighs and sit upright in an alert and comfortable way. The following guided meditation is adapted from a meditation by Kara Bradley from mindful.org. We'll begin by starting with our sense of sight. Look around. Notice your macro vision, the bigger picture, what's happening all around you. Notice what's happening way out beyond your immediate sight, such as the wide open space, the sky, the trees, and the walls that are far from you. Notice colors and textures, movement and stillness. Notice your peripheral vision, what's happening right out from your sides that you're not really looking at, but you can kind of sense out there. You're expanding your capacity to see by focusing your attention on this sense. Come in a little more closely to your immediate surroundings. Not too close, but sort of halfway. Notice colors, textures, objects, people, movement, stillness, or light. For example, how the light is landing on different objects, or on the floor, or the walls, or the trees. Now bring it in even closer. Notice your immediate surroundings right in front of you, right around the floor in front of you. The chairs, the sky, the snow on the ground, or maybe the green grass beneath your feet. Take 5 deep breaths. For each inhale, identify 1 thing that you see. For each exhale, say that thing out loud. Now move your attention to your physical sensations. Notice your hands on your thighs, and notice how you feel sitting on a chair or on a cushion. Notice your spine, if it's resting on the chair or slightly off your chair. And notice your clothing on your body. Notice where you feel your clothing. Is it tight or loose, coarse or soft? Heighten your awareness or your attention on this specific physical sense of being. Notice your skin, and if you feel any coolness or heat on your skin, or coming up from your skin. Notice your breath and what it feels like to be breathing in this moment. Notice your physical changes as you inhale, whether it be around your chest or your belly. Notice what happens when you exhale. Pay close attention to what's happening in your body and around your body physically. Now notice any other physical sensations emerging, arising, or falling away. Coolness, heat, tingling, prickly, tension, or relaxation. Take a few moments now to scan your body. Notice what's happening within. Now take 4 deep breaths. Identify 4 things that you can feel or touch, and speak one aloud for each exhale. Next, turn your attention away from your body and towards your sense of sound. Pause to notice sound coming from afar. Fine-tune your attention to notice what's happening away outside of your immediate surroundings. Perhaps you hear the cars traveling down the road, or a plane, music, or birds. Perhaps you don't hear any sounds far out, but you do hear sounds in your immediate surroundings, so notice that. Is it somebody moving in another room? Maybe it's just the hum of the air conditioner or the heat. With this practice of mindfulness, we're building the capacity to notice more. Right now, we're just noticing sound. Bring your awareness even closer and notice the sound of your body and of your breath. You may notice your body making gurgling sounds in your stomach, or notice when you take a big breath in and how your clothes shift. Maybe you can even hear your own heartbeat. Get really detailed here in the micro sounds in and around you. Take 3 deep breaths and name a sound on each exhale. Turn your attention towards your sense of smell. What do you smell in your environment? Perhaps there is a lack of smell right now. Maybe a floral or fruity scent has made its way into your scene, emanating from someone's perfume or from fresh fruit ripening on the vine. Or a familiar musty smell of wood and plaster. Notice that as your mind starts to settle and your nervous system starts to steady, that you start to shift into a more awake and aware state of being, where your senses light up. Oftentimes, we can notice things that we don't notice when we're living from our busy mind. Take 2 more deep breaths and identify the sense as you exhale. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and close your eyes to finish up your mindfulness practice. As you close your eyes, notice your mind. Notice the thoughts that come and go across your mental screen. They could be big thoughts or little thoughts, happy thoughts or not so happy thoughts. You don't need to label them, you're just noticing. Just as smells come and go, thoughts come and go. Just as goosebumps arise and dissipate, so do thoughts. In many ways, our thoughts can be considered our 6th sense. Before we end, take a mental snapshot of this scene that you have analyzed. Notice how you are feeling compared to a few moments ago. Do you feel relaxed and grounded? Do you feel lighter and content? As you move in and out of your day, notice your 6 senses, including your sense of thought. Allow thoughts to come and go. Did I miss a part? I think I did. I found it now. Let's move back a couple steps and go back to taste. Turn your attention to your sense of taste. Notice if you taste anything. Perhaps the remnants of your toothpaste or your coffee. Perhaps there is a lack of taste. Maybe you are imagining drinking herbal tea or tasting a spoonful of savory, heartwarming soup. Notice your sense of taste throughout the day. It will help you to remember to notice taste when you're actually eating or drinking. One last time, inhale, and then on your exhale, name what you are tasting. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and close your eyes to finish your mindfulness practice. As you close your eyes, notice your mind. Notice the thoughts that come and go across your mental screen. They could be big thoughts or little thoughts, happy thoughts or not so happy thoughts. You don't need to label them, you're just noticing. Just as smells come and go, thoughts come and go. Just as goosebumps arise and dissipate, so do thoughts. In many ways, our thoughts can be considered our 6th sense. Before we end, take a mental snapshot of the scene that you have analyzed. Notice how you are feeling compared to a few moments ago. Do you feel relaxed and grounded? Do you feel lighter and content? As you move in and out of your day, notice your 6 senses, including your sense of thought. Allow thoughts to come and go, just like a bird comes and goes across your vision. Feel free to adapt this meditation as needed. If you don't have 10 minutes to sit and meditate, take at least a few minutes to look around and do a quick sensory countdown. If one sense is dominating, you can start there. Maybe you're sitting outside or in a cafeteria with lots of smells around. Maybe you are sitting in a dark room and there's not a lot for you to see. Or sitting in the library where noise is meant to be kept to a minimum. Maybe you are experiencing limited sensory input in one or more of your sensory organs. There is no one-size-fits-all method that everyone should follow. These techniques are merely suggestions for ways that you can find grounding. Part of your spiritual practice is to explore different methods and to find what works for you. We hope that the methods that we have explored today will help you on your mindfulness journey.
And as you transition from that gentle, mellow mindfulness into an energizing mindfulness for the day ahead, will you please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our last hymn for this morning? Come and go with me. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm found. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land.
Go now into this world as a beacon of hope and joy. Go in love, go in peace. Now that our worship has ended, our service begins. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.